My child, listen closely to my voice. You have cried in silence, wondering why the one your heart longs for seems to be pulled away from you. You have asked me, Lord, if you brought us together, why does she still stand between us? And I have heard your heart tremble with confusion. You have watched him love you and yet stay bound to another, and you cannot understand why. You keep asking me, if he loves me, why can't he choose me? Today, I am giving you truth, not to break you, but to set your spirit free. You must know, my beloved, that love in this world is often tangled by human choices. I see your heart, pure and faithful, and I see his heart, divided and torn. He feels your soul even when he tries to silence the connection. He dreams of you when he tries to forget. His spirit recognizes yours because I wrote your names near one another in the unseen. But there is still a wall between you, a wall built from fear, guilt, and human attachment. That wall has her name written upon it. She is not your enemy. She is a mirror of what he cannot yet release. She represents the lessons he has not yet learned. You see, my child, sometimes I allow another person to remain in a place they no longer belong so that the heart can awaken through pain. He is learning through her what he must understand before he can ever hold you without breaking you. I am not punishing you by keeping you apart, I am preparing both of you for a love that will not crumble. You think this delay means I have forgotten you. But I am watching, shaping, teaching. You see his hesitation and you call it rejection, but I call it transformation. He is being refined, even as you are being healed. You want him now, but if I gave him to you in his current state, he would carry the wounds of his old life into your soul. That is not love, that is chaos wearing the mask of passion. My daughter, my son, for I speak to both hearts, you are not meant to chase what I am still healing. When I say wait, I do not mean suffer, I mean trust. I know how it feels when you pray for a sign and see silence instead. But silence is where I am working most deeply. I have hidden certain truths because if I showed you everything, you would try to fix it yourself, and in doing so, you would interfere with what I am perfecting. You say, God, why does she still have him? And I say, because he still has a lesson to learn through her presence. She is not the reward, she is the test. He cannot see it yet, but she has been sent as part of his awakening. You, on the other hand, are being called to rise above jealousy, above pain, above the need to control. You are learning how to love without attachment, how to trust me even when the outcome defies logic. Do you not know that I am God of timing? The love I ordain does not need to compete. What is meant for you cannot remain hidden forever. But I must first remove what is false, what is fear, what is ego. That is why I have not yet released him fully to you. He must choose truth on his own, not because you pull, but because his soul remembers where it truly belongs. You are wondering now if he will ever come. And I tell you this, when he is ready to love with freedom and faith, he will find his way to you, not through confusion, but through clarity. But if he never chooses that path, then understand that I have prepared a love for you so pure it will erase every tear you have cried for him. I never take away without giving greater. You must not lower your worth while waiting for someone to awaken. I did not design you to chase broken affection, I designed you to carry divine love. Stop asking why he won't leave her. Ask me instead what I am building in you while he is still learning his lessons. Because in you, I am building patience, discernment, strength. In him, I am building courage. Both are necessary before two hearts can unite under my will. I know the pain that lives behind your prayers. I know the nights you stayed awake replaying conversations, wondering what you did wrong. You did nothing wrong. You simply loved someone whose heart is still in training. You gave what was real, and that love was not wasted, even if it is not returned the way you hoped. Every tear you've shed has watered seeds of wisdom that will bloom in seasons ahead. My beloved, when you look at her and feel small, remember, I do not compare souls, I complete them. You were never meant to compete for love. What belongs to you in my divine order will be given effortlessly. But when something requires constant struggle and confusion, it is a sign that I am still working behind the scenes. Stop fighting for what is not yet ready. When the time is right, what is yours will recognize you without resistance. You say, Lord, I'm tired of waiting. And I answer, then rest in me. Do not rest in him. Rest in me, for I am your constant. Let me hold the space you keep trying to fill with worry. I am not delaying your blessing, I am protecting your peace. You see, I know what happens when love arrives before its foundation is strong. It collapses. And I love you too much to let you build something on unstable ground. He feels the pull toward you, yes. He feels the guilt of loving two hearts at once. That is why he runs and returns, why he confuses you with silence and sudden warmth. He is not cold, he is conflicted. But he cannot serve two masters, and until he chooses truth over comfort, he will remain bound by his own indecision. That is not your burden to carry. Release him to me. You must trust that I can reach where you cannot. Your words cannot change him, your love cannot heal what he refuses to face. But my spirit can. So instead of pleading for him to choose you, begin to pray that he chooses me, because when he finds me, he will find clarity, and in that clarity, he will see you. I have heard your question, why her, Lord? Why not me? And my answer is this, because right now, she is not blocking you, she is revealing him. She shows you who he still is, not who he is becoming. When he is ready to match your spirit, there will be no need for you to question his loyalty, his effort, or his love. Until then, stop trying to fit into a chapter 1 and closing for someone else. You were never meant to be the shadow in someone's story, you are the light in your own. When the time comes, the one I've chosen for you will not keep you waiting in confusion. He will recognize your soul the way dawn recognizes the sun. You will not need to prove your worth or fight for space. You will simply fit, because I will have prepared both of your hearts for that union. So let her stay where she must for now. Let him face his own truth. Your task is not to chase, but to grow. Your strength, your faith, your grace, they are not wasted. You are being prepared to love in a way that mirrors my own heart, patient, unconditional, wise. My child, I know you look at the situation and it feels like a cruel delay, but I do nothing without purpose. You see only two people, yet I see the web of souls, choices, and promises stretching far beyond this single moment. Every thread is connected, and I am guiding them toward the pattern I designed long before either of you took your first breath. You think she stands between you and your destiny, but in truth, she stands between him and his own awakening. You are not fighting her, you are witnessing his inner battle. When he looks at her, he sees safety. When he looks at you, he sees surrender, and surrender terrifies him because it would require him to confront every lie he has believed about love, loyalty, and worth. That is why he holds on to what is familiar, even when it no longer feeds his soul. I do not condemn him for this, I understand him. I created him. I know the scars that make him hesitate. I know the fears that whisper he is not enough. You, my beloved, are part of his calling to rise above that fear, but not by rescuing him. You cannot carry him across the bridge, he must walk it himself. If you try to pull him, you will only tear your own heart in the process. That is why I am teaching you release. Release is not giving up, release is trusting me with what you love most. When you release him, you make space for me to move freely. When you cling, you limit what I can do. Faith is not holding on until something changes, faith is resting even when nothing does. I know how much you love him. I placed that love within you, but I never intended for it to become your source of identity. You belong first to me. When you remember that, you will stop feeling invisible every time he chooses silence. Because you will know, even when he does not choose you, I have never stopped choosing you. She may have his attention, but you have his soul's echo. That is why the connection will not fade completely, even across distance or time. But the echo is not the same as the embrace. Do not mistake the spiritual bond for a promise of timing. Sometimes I let two souls sense each other long before they can stand side by side. The energy between you is real, but it is not yet ready for form. It is a seed still under soil, and you must not dig it up to see if it's growing. You keep waiting for a sign, a message, a gesture, a shift, but what if the sign is the silence itself? What if the pause is proof that I am redirecting you to your purpose before your heart becomes your prison? You are meant to rise higher than this cycle of longing and confusion. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of surrender, a version who no longer measures her worth by someone else's readiness to love. And when that version of you stands tall, something powerful will happen, he will feel it. Souls bound by divine design cannot remain unchanged when one awakens. Your healing will become his mirror. Your peace will expose his chaos. Your surrender will stir his conviction. That is why the greatest thing you can do for him right now is to return fully to me. Do not underestimate what happens in the unseen when you pray from a healed heart instead of a desperate one. Desperation cries, "Change him," but healing whispers, "Lord, have your way." I can move mountains when you stop trying to move hearts that aren't yet ready. Yes, she still stands beside him, but remember, proximity does not equal purpose. Many stand close in body but far in spirit. Do not envy what is temporary. What is rooted in convenience cannot compete with what is rooted in calling. Her presence may comfort him for a season, but your presence challenges him to evolve, and that, my child, is eternal. I am not asking you to wait with despair, I am asking you to walk with purpose. While he sorts his heart, I am enlarging yours. You are learning to love without losing yourself. You are learning to see beyond what eyes can see. Every moment you spend growing in faith, you are preparing for a love that mirrors my divine order, a love that gives, not drains, heals, not wounds. You may think you are being left behind, but I assure you, you are being lifted higher. This delay is not rejection, it is redirection. When he looks back, he will see how far you've come and realize that you were never competing with her, you were walking with me. And when the moment of revelation comes, it will not be through chaos. It will come quietly, naturally, like dawn after a long night. The confusion will lift, and he will know. Or you will know that your heart was meant to love elsewhere, and either way, you will be free. Freedom is what I desire for you above all else. Freedom from overthinking, from jealousy, from the endless loop of what if. Freedom to rest, to trust, to receive. My child, now that you are listening with your spirit instead of your pain, let me show you what you could not see before. Every love story on earth is written with choice. I gave humanity the gift of free will, and that means even those I destined for greatness together can delay what was meant to be. He is walking through the wilderness of his own decisions. I do not stop him, for I know that every wrong turn becomes a teacher. You think he belongs to her because he stays, but I tell you, staying is not the same as belonging. He stays where he feels needed, not where he feels alive. He stays where the past feels familiar, not where the future is calling. Sometimes people choose comfort over calling, and that choice delays the blessings waiting for them. You, my child, are not meant to live in delay. You are meant to live in destiny. That is why I have placed a stirring in your heart that refuses to settle. You feel him in the quiet moments, his thoughts, his sorrow, his confusion, because the souls I connect do not lose signal easily. But this awareness was never given to chain you, it was given to strengthen your discernment. When you sense his energy, do not fall into longing, rise into prayer. Say, Lord, touch the parts of him that fear change, and then release him again. That is how you love through spirit, without control, without fear. I am the keeper of timing, my beloved. You ask, when, Lord, and I answer, when the heart is ready to keep what it asks for. He cannot yet hold the kind of love you carry, his hands are still full of what must be released. But you are learning the sacred art of letting go. That is why I call you strong, even in your tears. Do not curse the waiting season. It is not punishment, it is preparation. I am refining your patience so that your love, when it arrives, will not tremble at delay. I am training your spirit to recognize peace so that when the right connection returns, you will know it by stillness, not anxiety. You may think she won because she has his presence, but remember, my child, I measure not by proximity but by purpose. Some hearts are near yet miles apart, others are far but eternally linked. Her role in his life is temporary, a mirror showing him what needs to end. Your role is eternal, a reminder of what can begin. Still, you must not make her your focus. Every time you compare, you give power to illusion. What you see in her is not what truly binds him, it is his fear of letting go. She is simply the image his fear hides behind. And fear cannot survive in the light of truth, so trust me to bring that truth to the surface. While I work on his heart, I am also drawing you closer to my own. You have prayed for a sign that I am near. This message, this peace stirring even as you read, is that sign. I am closer than your next breath. I see the ache you try to hide. I see the prayers you whisper into the darkness. I am not ignoring you, I am absorbing every word. My beloved, you will one day thank me for the doors that did not open when you begged. You will see how I was saving you from heartbreak disguised as destiny. What you call delay, I call divine editing. I am writing a story too sacred to be rushed. So guard your energy. Stop checking whether he still thinks of you. Stop measuring his silence as if it determines your worth. Your worth was sealed when I breathed life into you. Do not lower it to match the level of someone still awakening. When I need to align two souls, I do not use manipulation, I use transformation. That is what I am doing now. He must learn what love is not before he can recognize what love truly is. That is why I allow him to stay where peace is missing. Sometimes I let my children exhaust every false thing before they finally reach for truth. When he does, it will not be through your pleading but through my conviction. And you, my child, must not grow weary. You have carried this love long enough. Now, let me carry you. Let me remind you that you were never meant to live in emotional waiting rooms. You were meant to walk in freedom. Every time you choose to trust me instead of your fear, the chains around both your hearts begin to loosen. You ask, what if he never awakens, Lord? Then, my beloved, know this, I will still make your life beautiful. I will still fulfill every promise. I will still send someone who sees you without confusion, who loves you without delay, who stands beside you without hesitation. Because my love story for you does not depend on his decisions, it depends on my faithfulness, and I have never failed. So, lift your eyes once more. The story is not over. You may not see the ending yet, but it is already written in victory. Trust that I am weaving something greater than your heart can imagine. My child, lean closer. I want you to hear me without the noise of fear. What you are living through is not abandonment, it is alignment. When I separate you from what feels certain, it is because I am making room for what is sacred. I know how deeply you loved, how you tried to keep hope alive even when the silence grew heavy. I know how you prayed, Lord, just give me one sign that he will choose me. But I did give you a sign. Every moment that peace left you was my whisper saying, this is not yet the time. Peace is how you recognize my presence. When peace fades, it means I am asking you to step back into my arms. He cannot see clearly now. The world has woven confusion around his heart. He wrestles with guilt, obligation, and fear, fear of change, fear of loss, fear of truly being seen. And while he wrestles, I am not idle. I am sending truth into his dreams, conviction into his silence, restlessness into his comfort. I am showing him that what he clings to will never satisfy his soul. You, meanwhile, are learning the highest form of love, to love without ownership, to care without control. You are learning to say, Lord, let your will, not mine, be done. That surrender shakes the heavens more than any desperate prayer ever could. For when you release what you cannot hold, you give me permission to create miracles. You will not always feel the ache you feel now. There will come a day when you wake up, breathe deeply, and realize that the weight has lifted. You will think of him with compassion, not longing. You will look at her and feel no jealousy, only understanding. And you will smile, because you will finally see that every delay was my mercy in disguise. I am not withholding love from you, I am perfecting it within you. You are becoming the kind of soul who can love without losing peace, who can give without emptying out. That strength is what will draw true love to you, whether through him when he awakens, or through another I have chosen. Either way, you will stand blessed. Listen carefully, the person I unite you with will not make you question your worth. He will not hide you or silence you. He will see you as I see you, radiant, steadfast, divine. He will recognize the light you carry and will protect it. You will not chase him, you will meet him. You will not beg for space, he will create it for you. You will not wonder if it is real, you will know by the peace that settles over you. Until that day, keep walking with me. Let me be your comfort when loneliness visits. Let me be your strength when you feel forgotten. Do not measure your progress by his actions, measure it by your own peace. Each time you choose faith over fear, heaven rejoices. You are not behind. You are right on time. The delay is not wasted, it is sacred ground where I am rewriting your heart. You will look back on this season and thank me for not giving you what you wanted too soon. You will see that I never ignored your prayers, I was answering them in a higher language, one that could only be understood through time. So now, breathe. Lay down the questions that keep your soul restless. Trust that I am still writing, still weaving, still blessing. He may be in her world right now, but you are in my hands, and nothing in my hands is ever lost. Walk forward with hope. The love that is meant for you will find you without confusion, without competition, without delay. And when it does, you will recognize my fingerprints all over it. You are loved. You are seen. You are chosen. Always.